talk to your fucking kids about sex.
Yep, don't wait for social media to expose them to it someone.
I still haven't had the birds and the bees with my mom. I'm 27 years old.
Right.
My mom gave me finger condoms she gave me finger condoms when I was like 20. Don't you think it's too late for that? I've been fucking.
Yeah. Have those uncomfortable conversations with your children before it's too late.
Yes, like
especially if they're asking questions about it, you know?
Even if they're not asking questions, but just bring it up to them.
Yeah.
Don't wait for them to come to you.
Just mention it to them.
Don't wait for them to come to you. Like, you sitting here going on Google and typing in when is the best time to talk to. Stop fucking going to Google for your kids.
Yeah.
Teach them.
Go within.
Like, just teach them when they're at an age where they could comprehend. And I'm getting like a little bit like riled up because it pisses me off. Peace, guys. It's your girl Zen here, and I'm with the lovely
Ceribia, also known as Indigo.
Today we wanted to do something different to kind of do like a part 2 to the video that I dropped, which is, you know, the uncomfortable conversation of molestation. Indigo has some questions that she's gonna ask me, and I'm gonna answer them as truthful and as raw as I could possibly be, just so that we can, you know, for me, it's just to, number one, bring awareness of what's going on, but also give people a idea of how to deal with it, but also in a way preventing it and like seeing the signs so that you can heal a child before they get, you know, a certain age to the point where healing becomes very difficult for them to do. That's why we decided to just do like a part 2 to this video. Well, I decided to do a part 2, and Indigo has decided to join me on this journey, and it's only right because she's been here. She had a front row seat to my whole healing journey, my experience, and me releasing and detoxing from things that caused me a lot of trauma. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and just jump into the questions.
And I also would say keep an open mind when listening to this video, because some things may make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But we are all here to grow and learn and to heal through this shit and bring awareness to it.
Yeah.
So, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Take them nerves, baby. Okay. I would like to start this interview by just getting the definition of molestation out there for those of you who may not know what it means.
First of all, I would like to say that it can happen between the same sex or the opposite sex. So you could get molested. You could be a woman and get molested by a woman or a man, or you could be a man and get molested by a man or a woman. So it has no gender. Molestation has no gender, just let me say that. It's any type of sexual interaction or activity. So it could be along the lines of penetration. It could be, you know, the groping of the breasts or the private area. Also, it could be any type of oral sex as well. Anything like that. So I just want to sum it up to just anything sexual at all. It can even be being exposed to child pornography.
That's making you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, so it could be somebody sitting you down and making you watch a sex scene in a movie at a young age. That's also molestation too. Or partaking in any type of like pornographic like pictures. So somebody recording you or taking pictures of you doing a sexual activity or anything of that. Or you being a child and somebody's taking pictures of you and you're naked, or you don't have any clothes on, or you just have like a training bra with your panties, or you just with no shirt on and your boxers.
Yeah.
So kind of like to give you an example of that is the whole Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears thing. And it's crazy how we decided to have this conversation around the same time of this story kind of evolve, like coming to surface, because that is if you haven't seen a video, it's all over Twitter. I'm not sure if you can watch it on YouTube, but there are clips all over social media that shows that what the funny skit that they did was actually molestation. If you really think about it.
Men can be victims too. A lot of people have this idea that only women get raped or molested, and if a man was to come out about it, he's like weak or gay or something of that nature. If you are a man or a young boy and you are watching this and you've experienced some of these things, it is okay for you to come out and allow yourself to be vulnerable. I know men, you know, they have this persona that they have to just be tough and you can't cry and everybody's replaceable, especially when it comes to women. So it's just like, if you experienced it, you experienced it.
It's a good thing you brought that up, because I remember a while back I came across a tweet about a young man. He tweeted something about like him having sex with the neighborhood hoe at the age of like 11 or 12. And people were underneath the comments, and it was kind of like some people calling it molestation and some people wasn't calling it. And I feel like when it comes to young boys, if you have sex at a young age, you're
It's
considered
socially
cool.
acceptable.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you lost your virginity at 11. Yo, that's dope. Da da da. When when we're not educated on the fact of, no, somebody took your innocence from you.
Yeah.
You like at the age of 11 and 12, like and younger, you don't have any idea of what it means to really have sex. We have this idea of what we think sex is, and it's really not what we have taught and what it's portrayed in the movies and on TV shows. Like, we have this shit completely fucked up. And that's why I feel like there's a difference between a 12-year-old young boy having sex versus a 12-year-old girl. Because if a girl went on Twitter and said that, like, you know, she was like, yeah, at the age of 11, I was throwing it back to the neighborhood hoe, talking about a dude, people would have been calling her, oh, you a fast ass, you a hoe, da da da, like, or they'll say like, oh, you were molested, da da da, and that's not okay. But for the young boy, it's like, nah, that's cool.
He get praised for it.
And then the girl could either be a victim or be slut shamed. We're gonna dive into that a little bit more, like, later on this interview.
We got some good shit coming, y'all.
Yeah, we do.
That was just one question.
You know what's crazy? I just want to put this out there for those who have short attention span. I'm sorry, but like, this is not something that I just wanted to just be super
It's a
quick.
conversation.
It's a conversation.
Okay, some conversations are 5 minutes, some conversations are an hour.
Yeah, and when you have those long conversations with people, that means you're actually in tune. You're in the moment with that person, because we already know what it's like to see somebody and it's like you really don't want to talk to them, so it's kind of like, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, okay, cool, how's everything? It's like 5 minutes and then you ready to leave. But then you have those conversations, you run into somebody and it's like, oh my god, like, how are you? And it's really in depth and you're really in tune. So this is one of those conversations.
If you stay for the whole video, I bet you're going to get something out of this.
Yeah, and stay, because this could not only help you, but it could also help someone like close to you, or it could help the babies. Like, and when I say babies, I'm talking about your kids or your niece, your nephew, your little cousins, your grandchildren. Yeah. So
and be aware, guys, like, this shit is happening right under our nose and we don't even know. Like, people you talk to and see every day is getting molested,
or like just went through it and just
went through it.
And that shit every single day is eating at them.
So how did you build up the strength and the courage to actually come out and tell your story to the world?
To be honest, if I'm being quite honest, it was a couple of things, but the main things was me moving to the South. And
so a change of environment
and being with you. I feel like in order for me to really love you and accept you and really allow you to love me and accept me, I feel like I just feel like I had to let out the skeletons in my closet, because I felt like the more I just kept it in, the more I would have just treated you like the other women in the past that I've dated, and not really give you all of me. You know what I'm saying? And you are somebody, obviously, that I really love and that I don't, see myself without. Like, I see myself growing old with you. And I feel like we cannot move to the next step of our lives together, whether that's building wealth, health, and raising a beautiful family together, without allowing you to know who you're dealing with. I didn't want you to have to date a mask, if that makes sense. I wanted you to be able to date me and love me and know who I am. And also just the fact that I was just tired of being so angry. Like
you wanted a peace of mind.
Yes. Those were the major three things that really caused me to like come up and actually talk about it. And you seen firsthand, like, I actually let everything out to you.
Yeah.
And I remember around the time when I did let it out to you, it was very emotional and it was a very intense experience, because I never cried like that in my life.
Yeah, and that also helped me admit to her some of the things that I've experienced in my story that made me feel uncomfortable sexually. Yeah. Because we all have those stories, let's be honest. We all have those stories, or most of us.
Once you get to a point where you just like, you look yourself in the mirror and you just see someone, you know who you can become, and you know how much you have to offer this world, but your pain is just holding you back from being that. So I was just ready to just let go of that shit and just, really move forward and create myself.
For those of you out there who do not have a partner like Zen have, there are other ways. You can find people that are really close to you And it doesn't have to be people that you have a romantic relationship with. Like, it could be your best friend, or the closest sibling you have to you, or whoever you think is really close to you that you can be vulnerable with. And if you have no one, you always have yourself.
Yeah.
You can say that shit out loud, look yourself in the mirror, or even write it down, just so that you are conscious of it.
I would also like to shine a light. I took therapy. I started taking therapy last year, and that really helped. And you know, my therapist, she really helped me realize a lot of things and feel comfortable with expressing, you know, certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when you talk to a stranger, they don't know who you are. They don't know things about you to judge you. So me talking to my therapist, it was like I was talking to like a clean slate, like a stranger.
Yeah, okay.
And me being able to be vulnerable and I hate that word, vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like me being able to experience that with her, it just allowed me to say, okay, I could take what I'm doing with you and I could bring it to my home, which is Indigo. I'd like to give a very special shout out to you. Thank you very much for your time and help and all that you have done for me, to be honest.
So what did the conversation look like with your family members or people that's close to you?
The conversation came about when I wrote Easter Sunday.
Okay.
When I wrote Easter Sunday, and I wrote that song, before I dropped it, I knew that before I gave that out into the world, before I put that energy out into the world, I had to go to my creators, which is my mom and my dad, and I'm very thankful to be able to have both of them still in my life. I sat both of them down and I told them, you know, face to face, you know,
that
what happened.
Tough, I'm sure.
Hell yeah.
It was uncomfortable.
It was super uncomfortable, especially for my mom. Being able to go to my parents first before I went out to the world was definitely something that I needed to do. Me expressing myself and talking to my parents the way I have been since I moved down here has really allowed them to open up and express certain things about themselves. Because they're seeing their daughter, you know, they're young, somebody that's younger than them, you know, live in their truth, step into their light and openly admit and be honest and be truthful about things that they went through. And it's very important for me to do that because I feel like our parents come from a different generation.
Yeah.
And you know, it's cool now to go to therapy and to read self-help books.
It was not available to us.
Especially
we didn't have the resources or the opportunity
within our community.
Yeah.
Let's be real. It wasn't something that like our parents or their parents would think about, like, oh
yeah, mental health was not a priority.
Not at all. So it's something that became new. So being that it came around my generation, is like it's only right that I take advantage of this shit and heal myself so that I can not help my parents heal, but those around me and my kids and, you know, people who look up to me.
Yeah. So how did you know when you were ready to have this conversation?
I knew I was ready to have this conversation when I talked to you about it and I got super deep with you. Indigo was the first person that I got deep with and really talked to about everything and put everything out on the table because she created a space where I could do that. Like, it was no judgment. It was not, oh, why you telling me this, or I don't want to hear it. It was nothing like that. It was like, even though I'm your lover, you can talk to me as if I'm not your lover, because let's be real, when you are in a relationship, you have these expectations for your partner
and these views,
and you have these this image of how your partner should be, and instead of letting your partner be who they want to be, and that causes a lot of miscommunication and like your partner not feeling comfortable, and Indigo does a very great job with allowing me to create myself and really paint my own picture, not saying, oh, I don't like this color, change this color to that, I don't like how this section looks, do it over. It's like, no, oh, you want this to go down there, then put that down there, whatever. And that's why I always say to her, like, you know, girls could be in my DM, girls could be in my face, but if they really knew what I had back at home, they wouldn't even try to shoot their shot, because it's like shooting at a rim with no rim. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's
shooting with no basket.
And it's just like, it has nothing to do with sex. It has nothing to do with what she buys me. It's just how...
The spiritual and emotional, mental connection.
And the mental, that shit is everything to me. Like, I didn't have that ever. So to you giving me that, it's like...
Yeah.
I'll give you the world, girl. That's how I feel.
But my looks don't hurt nobody.
No, hell no.
Just add that in there.
Nah, you
when they stimulating you mentally, but they look good physically.
Yeah, it's a
vibe, right?
It's a vibe.
What are some signs to look for in children or your loved ones around you in general?
Some signs to look out for kids is, them being overly aggressive, them being super angry,
or maybe like really shy too.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm speaking from my experience.
Oh, from your experience.
Yeah,
okay.
Like for me as a child, I was very angry.
Okay.
I was very aggressive, and I ate a lot. Like I ate a lot of snacks and food to help with to help
that
me
was like a coping mechanism for you.
to help make me feel good. Like anytime I was eating snacks, it was like, all right, cool. Like I could. It's like, I don't know. Like whatever chemicals in the snacks that they be feeding us in America, it does a very great job with
temporary satisfaction.
It does, yeah. It's kind of like a sign you will see in adults. It will be smoking, it will be drinking.
Some type of addiction. Yeah,
some type of addiction. So when I was young, it was addiction to sugar. And then as I got older, it was addiction to sugar. And then other substances.
Yeah.
Whatever. Other shit. So going back to this, to the children, because I think it's super important, not saying that adults don't matter, but I think it's super important to see the signs early on in your kids, and your nieces, your nephews, your cousins.
So you could prevent an angry adult.
Yes, exactly. And then that's how you truly heal the world. You start with the young ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you see a kid that's super aggressive all the time and very angry, and like when you tick them off, they explode. Like they ready to scream at you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you get those type of emotions because it's like no, you're not gonna make me feel
small.
Yeah, like no.
Like you're not gonna take advantage of me.
That's what it is. Like that's what it was for me. It's like no, like soon as you make me mad, like anybody, my mom, my dad, a friend, like I'm
defense.
Yes,
like that quick. Wall is up.
Like yes, exactly. Yeah. And then like you said, it could be a child that's very shy. You know what I'm saying? Like quiet, timid. Like you go to hug them or touch them and they jump in. It's like you know what I'm saying? So definitely. And then for adults, would be somebody who overindulge in alcohol and overindulge in weed. Even though weed is not a drug, but it still you can abuse. Yeah. You could abuse anything.
Yeah, too much of something.
It's not good for you. Somebody who has like trust issues, in relationships. Somebody who's like jealous. You know what I'm saying? Or just feeling like they're not enough. Like you ever dated somebody who always had something negative to say,
like really low self-esteem.
Yeah, like always got something negative to say about themselves, or always picking arguments with you or fighting with you because it's like their guard is always up, so they always in fight mode. They can never be like cool, so they will argue with you about the dumbest shit because that's the only way they feel safe, and you know, and that's what they're used to.
So how do people go about creating a safe space for children to have these uncomfortable conversations?
Talk to your fucking kids about sex.
Yep, don't wait for social media to expose them to it or someone.
I still haven't had the birds and the bees with my mom. I'm 27 years old.
Right.
My mom gave me finger condoms when she gave me finger condoms when I was like 20. Don't you think it's too late for that? It's been fucking.
Yeah. Have those uncomfortable conversations with your children before it's too late.
Yes, like
especially if they're asking questions about it, you know?
Not even if they're not asking questions, but just bring it up to them.
Yeah.
Don't wait for them to come to you.
Just mention it to them.
Don't wait for them to come to you. Like, you sitting here going on Google and typing in when is the best time to talk to. Stop fucking going to Google for your kids.
Yeah.
Teach them.
Go within.
Like, just teach them when they're at an age where they could comprehend. And I'm getting like a little bit like riled up because it pisses me off. Like it pisses me off that parents feel like kids shouldn't know certain things. It's
like stay out of grown folks' business.
How the fuck am I supposed to learn? Like, would you rather your kid learn your business or somebody else's business?
Yeah.
Let's be real. And now I cannot stress this enough. I'm not gonna lie, I watched porn at a very young age. Again, I was exposed to sexual activity at a young age.
Because no one had those uncomfortable conversations.
So I watched porn, right? And my porn was getting the DVDs with the white. Y'all know what the fuck? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, people who watch, y'all know what I'm talking about. The DVD that was white. Ain't have no words on it, or if it did have words, it had XXX. You feel me? But now, like, you watch Cardi B porn. That's porn.
Yeah.
It's porn
With clothes on.
She be wearing nothing.
Yeah, well, that's true. Little to nothing.
That's porn. You go on TikTok, it's porn. You go YouTube, porn.
Sex is
Twitter,
everywhere, y'all,
porn.
and it's in everything.
It's in
and
everything.
They sexualize everything.
Give some examples of what you mean by that.
What, they sexualize everything?
Yes.
Like, you will just see, like, women wearing certain clothing to expose certain body parts, and they'll just play certain music or just make the scene feel sexual even if no intercourse is happening. Like, you will see the guy, like, put his hand on a woman's, like, thigh, or, you know, like, the camera would zoom into the lady boobs, or, you know, shit like that. They sexualize a lot of stuff. You cannot tell me, you cannot really name, it's like, maybe I don't watch a lot of TV, but you really can't name shows that don't have some type of sexual sex in it. Even cartoons, kid movies, like, you will see sexual things. You're just like, they make everything about sex. Like everything. The SpongeBob movie when Patrick had on the fishnet stockings with the tall boots.
Yeah,
like just sexualizing things.
When you hear fishnet stockings with long boots, heel boots.
Yeah.
Come on, like, so it's like, please talk to your kids about it. Stop waiting for them to. They're not gonna come to you.
Yeah, no.
Especially if you're the parent, if you're the type of parent that don't communicate with your child at all, like emotionally and mentally. If you don't talk to your kid, if you don't talk to your child.
I just thought about something.
What's up?
So another way to create a safe space for children is just be mindful of how you're reacting to certain situations. Like if your kid come to you like, Mom, I smoked weed before, and you're getting upset. You're not supposed to do that. I didn't raise you like that. Just showing a lot of anger and frustration right there. You're just showing them that they can't trust you
at all.
They can't come to you and talk to you about certain things. So be mindful, parents or guardians, of how you react to certain situations when children come to you with uncomfortable shit or things that they're questioning or wondering, and you're showing like an angry reaction to it.
To piggyback on what you said, it's like if you're getting mad that I told you a boy like me or a girl like me, or like a boy or like a girl, then what the fuck? What can I expect if I say, oh, the boy kissed me, the girl kissed me, or somebody touched me below and I didn't like it?
They're not gonna come.
They're not gonna come to you if you exploding about the most littlest shit. Yeah. So yes, parents and guardians, be mindful. Like, and like this conversation is just, it's not just targeting about kids. It's targeting adults too, because this is just all right now. This whole video is just about healing, and when you heal yourself, you leave room for things. You leave room for more understanding. Like you leave room for people, for yourself to be able to comprehend things and not react. So now, like, we don't even argue.
Yeah, no, we don't.
We don't argue. Like, I'm not even trying to over exaggerate. Like, oh, we got the perfect relationship.
Well, we used to be toxic, but
it's fuck.
We put a lot of work in to get where we are.
She used to put her hands on me.
Yeah,
I put my hands on her once or twice. Like, arguing, screaming at her, like breaking up, and the whole toxic. We had the whole package. But we realized that, like, that's not gonna help us flourish. You know what I'm saying? So once I started to heal, once she started to heal, we realized that those toxic traits we had towards each other was just us having our wall up, our guard up about something.
Yeah, it was negative coping mechanisms that came through our inner child.
Yes.
It's always your inner child.
Definitely, like, talk to your kids about sex. Like, if you don't do it, then they will learn. And we are in a age where things are getting... our children are exposed to way more than what we were, quicker and faster. If your child has a phone and they have social media, they are exposed to sex. I'm sorry.
Yes.
They may not be on Pornhub.com, but they are exposed to sex.
And a lot of kids don't know what it is. They have an idea of it, but they don't really know. They don't really know.
They think sex is probably kissing.
Yeah, like I asked my niece what she thought it was, and her idea was completely wrong, and she's 10.
Yeah, right. So it's like, don't sit here and be fooled and think that your kid don't know what sex is. Yeah. Oh, my kid's gonna know what sex is and stop waiting for teachers to teach them. Yeah,
waiting for them to hit a certain age, or
we're gonna do a whole video on what sex is. Like, I feel like that's a whole nother topic. Like, like what we learn in school.
Sex is not just intercourse either.
Right. Let's save that for another video.
Yeah. What are some healthy coping mechanisms? We kind of talked about unhealthy coping mechanisms, but what are some more healthy approaches?
Exercising. I definitely would say talking. Like Indigo said, if you don't have someone to talk to, then you always have yourself. So for me, my music. Oh, my music is my best friend and always has been. Like as a child, like anytime I was super angry or upset, I would lock myself somewhere and just write mad raps.
So maybe like something that brings you joy.
Yeah, like so it could be me. For me, it's writing music, making beats, or for you, it could be designing new clothes. It could be you doing your nails because that's something you want to do. It could be you looking at different outfits and put it on different clothes. You know what I'm saying? Just because you want to be a model. It could be anything that makes you happy.
Spending time around nature.
Yes, exactly. Like going for walks. That's ties into exercising. Like if you don't want to go to the gym, just go for a walk.
Yeah.
Like find the nicest place in your neighborhood and walk. And if you don't have any talent or whatever, then just write in your journal. Get a book from the 99 Cent Store and just write. Like just write how you feel. Writing does help. Like I remember there's so many times I wrote down emotions and I burnt them into the wind.
Make sure you spend a lot of time in the sun if you can, and just try to eat as good as you can.
Yeah.
Because remember, guys, the chemicals that they put in the food, it does affect your mental and spiritual and sexual health.
Yeah.
It does. So for someone that has experienced molestation in a way, it'll be hard for them to kind of open themselves back up to trust and love when it comes to romantic relationships. So what is some advice you can give for those people?
Be with someone who, like I said before, who allows you to be you and loves you unconditionally. Like I know some people say that you can't love somebody unconditionally, but I don't think that's true. If Indigo sat me down tomorrow and say, hey, like I'm not happy with you, you know, I want to do things on my own. I want to see how it feels to be on my own, whatever. I need 2 years to be by myself. If I'm arguing with her and I'm like, no, you have to be with me. We've been putting all this work in. We moved together and I'm putting that energy towards her. Then I don't really love her. You know what I'm saying? Like love is allowing somebody to be free, not like chained up like how we're taught. Like and I'm not even saying chained as far as like marriage or you like no, like I'm saying chained up like emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Be with somebody who allow you to be yourself. And if you have a partner and you talk to them about something and they react very low vibrational, like they're yelling at you, getting angry, kicking you out the house, like just picking at you at your mental health, saying stupid slick shit, like saying things that they know is gonna hurt you
or trigger you,
then they gotta go.
Yeah, and a lot of things too, guys, start from within.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, that part. Like, if you have to work on yourself though. Like, you can't want somebody to treat you a certain way if you're treating yourself a certain way. Yeah. So for me, I wanted to heal. I wanted to love myself. I wanted to change myself. I didn't want to get buried with my pain and my trauma. So me working on myself allowed her to be able to come and work with me. So it's more of a team thing, and not I'm putting all my emotions on her and like you're my lady, so figure it out. Fix me.
And don't expect your partner to know what the fuck you're thinking 24/7. That's why we have a mouth. That's why we have a voice to express, to communicate, guys.
Like that, the way we communicate is in like you would think we're lying if we told you how our relationship is. Like I told you, we don't argue. Like some people are like, oh, y'all fucking arguing.
We don't. Not anymore. Like no, we do not argue
like we
at
talk.
all.
Like if I say, hey babe, can I talk to you about something? And she'll be like, what's up? And then like, you know, be very uncomfortable. And I'll say that. Like I'll start the conversation like, okay, I'm not trying to make you feel no type of way. Or I'm not trying to come at you, but babe, I don't like that. You did this. Or
and try not to get offended, guys, or take things personally. That's how you grow together, having these uncomfortable talks, you know? Because there's been times where she came to me and told me things, and I was just like, not really feeling that. But it's like, okay, how can we, and vice versa, but how can we grow from this? How can we learn from this? How can we move forward collectively, with both of us feeling heard and seen, you know? I may not have liked it, but there's a way we can meet each other halfway, pretty much.
Yes, exactly.
That's what this shit is all about, too.
Definitely having someone who listens to you. And like you said, I'm supposed to automatically think you know what's wrong with me.
Because you're my partner, Yeah,
like, nah. Like,
it doesn't work like that.
I'm forever growing with her. I'm forever learning new things about her.
Yeah. Instead of just walking around the house with an attitude, communicate with your partner.
Yeah. Like that oh, I'm gonna sleep downstairs shit. Like
going to bed angry.
We don't like that. Like we don't like how it feels to go to bed upset. So we don't. Like, if I'm upset, and it's rare that I get upset, to be honest. Like, I get upset for outside things more than I get upset with you. Like, we be mad at other people. We don't be mad at each other, because at the end of the day,
love you so much.
You're my home.
The printer.
Oh, you want to tell them the story?
Well, babe, she gets easily frustrated with, like, shit. Like, our printer, for some reason, it doesn't work. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with that printer, but she'll get so fucking angry. Like, I just want to punch... Like, I just want to punch this fucking slow-ass computer, like, stuff like that. And I just be like, babe, chill. That's the most mad and angry I see her get, honestly.
Yeah, it'd be like shit like that. Or, like, when people act stupid. Like, when family members try to overcross their boundaries. And
yeah, stuff like that.
And friends being low vibrational. Like, we talk about that shit like that. Like, but with us, like, it's like, nah. Like, we've been through the worst.
Yeah, I think we had the most uncomfortable conversations already so far. Like, we talked about a lot of shit.
I don't think there's nothing else that, like, I could tell her, unless it's like little things like, oh yeah, babe, you know, when I was young, I used to like these K-Swiss, like stuff like that. Yeah. But like deep,
like big shit. Yeah.
Nah.
I think we got over that hurdle.
Yeah, we definitely did. Like,
yeah.
Nah, it's right now being that all our skeletons is out the closet. And we got a clean slate with one another. Mm-hmm. Now that's all that's left to do. It's just put new stuff in our closet. Take out the skeletons.
The things that we like, the things that we love.
Like a lot of Buzz Lightyear sweaters.
Okay.
Snacks. I'll put snacks in my closet. I'll put
snacks. Tea.
Whatever.
Herbs. Okay. How to prevent something like this from happening in the future as far as molestation goes?
Going back to the conversation of creating a safe space for your kids. Talk.
Yeah.
Use your mouth. Like, even when you have a lump in your throat and you're about to cry.
Yes.
Just talk. Because when you do it, like, the more you talk about uncomfortable shit, like, at first, coming to her and talking to her about things in my past was like I said, I had a lump. It felt like I had, like, a loaf of bread. Like, you could feel it. Like a lump. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Like when y'all holding back y'all tears.
Yeah, and it's like your throat start getting slowed up. You know
you're not supposed to be holding it back. Yeah, that's why it happened.
Definitely, like, talk. Like, whether you have a partner or you have, like, a close friend or a close family or a close sibling or somebody from your soul tribe. Like, and when I say soul tribe, that means your chosen family, the people you choose to be your family.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily have to be blood.
Yeah, because you have the family you're born into and you have the family that you get to choose. Definitely talking to somebody about it can, like, and educating your babies. Educate your babies, please. Stop waiting for Instagram and TikTok and YouTube to teach your kids.
Yeah, or the sex ed teacher, because they do a fucking horrible job.
Like, they don't teach your kids. Everything should be in home. Have the raw conversation.
Yes.
If you're raw enough to listen to curse words, music with curse words, and music that talk about killing each other, or music that talk about my pussy wet. If you can play that around your kid, but you won't have a conversation about
sex.
Listen.
You got to remember, guys, kids are sponges. They absorb in all of that. They're taking in all of that. You don't just digest things by what you put in your mouth. You digest things by what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you smell. You consuming all of that.
Yes.
So, like, oh, she don't know what I'm listening to, or he don't know what I'm talking about. They do.
They know.
They do.
Because guess what? When certain songs, like, and this is a whole nother conversation in itself, but certain songs that are pushed and it's to push their agenda to control the masses, especially the young ones.
Yeah.
So songs that Cardi B make and Meg Thee Stallion, songs like Lil Durk and Lil Baby, and they talking about killing and all this other bullshit. Like, those songs are in the forefront for a reason. Hip hop and rap are two different things. Let's get that clear. Hip hop is a way of life. Rap is a genre.
Yeah, it's an agenda.
Music is the biggest industry in the world, music wise.
Yeah.
And the whole entertainment.
You have different cultures with rap songs.
So of course they're gonna have certain songs at the forefront, songs going viral, songs on the radio all the time. So your kids is consuming that a lot. Yeah. And your kids may not be listening to radio, but they go on TikTok and they see what's viral. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, viral shit is shit that is exposing. Like, when they be having, like, little booty shaking TikTok challenges. Yep. Your kids is watching it. Yeah. And your kid, you don't want your kid to be grown? Take away their phone.
Oh my
You
God.
feel me? If you don't want your kid to be grown, take away their mother own.
No, that's
The tablets, they can't have it.
okay.
The tablets create a habit. Am I right? I mean, nah, bro. Nah,
Yes,
bro.
yes. Just be aware.
Yes,
Be an active parent
be in your
or
child's
guardian.
life.
Yeah.
Be in your child's life. Like, your kids is getting raised by their phones.
They
like,
need you emotionally,
they need
spiritually,
you,
mentally, not just financially.
Yes.
They got the latest phone, the latest Jordans on their feet, but emotionally they're distraught.
Yeah.
So be there for them.
And
Yeah.
angry. Like, I know what that's like.
They don't need a perfect parent. They need a loving, nurturing parent.
Yep.
Parents too, with an S at the end.
To prevent it from happening, just talk to your kids. Let them know what sex is. Let them know that what sex is supposed to look like, and so that they know, like, okay, when their cousin or their brother or their sister is touching on them, they'll be like, oh no, mommy, like my mommy said this not right. Like my mommy said this is not, we not supposed to do this.
And being that you did have the conversation with them, they'll be more willing to come to you and tell you.
Like, let's use this for a scenario, right? Your child comes home to you and they're like, oh mommy, somebody in school touched my butt, right? Mm-hmm. You go to school, whoever the kid was, they bring their parents. Now y'all sitting at the table. You guys are communicating about it. Now just give the other parents a chance to see, okay, why did my child touch your child's butt? That child could have been getting touched, could have been getting molested, could have got exposed to pornography. So now they're only taking what's being done to them or what's being shown to them, and they bringing it into school.
And don't be naive.
So
like, oh, it can't happen to me. Oh, it didn't happen to my family.
Yeah. So
guys, it happened.
That's a way. That's a way. Like, just talking about it, letting them know what it is.
All right. Well, last but not least, what are some key points that you would like for people to take away from this conversation?
Heal yourself. You don't have to transition with what you went through. You can let it go, no matter how old you are. I'm 27 years old, and I'm finally at a point where I could speak about this shit openly and not be like affected by it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I had to work my way up here. I had to cry my way up here. I had to shed my way up here.
Literally, blood,
you know
sweat, and tears.
Yeah, literally. Look at yourself. Figure out what are the things that's wrong with you. Figure out who are the people that hurt you, and just go about like healing those things about yourself. And if you don't know how to heal, it starts with actually being aware, bringing the things to aware, like bringing things, putting everything on the table. It's like, oh, when I was 6 years old, my mom did this to me, my dad did this to me. Put it on the table. And if your mom and dad is still alive to hear you speak and talk to them. Like, mom, this is what you did to me. Dad, this is what you did to me. Talk to them about things. Like, don't be afraid, because once you start to talk to people and have these uncomfortable conversations, your throat chakra starts to open up to where now you're going to work and you're telling your coworkers, like, I didn't like the fact that you drank my coffee. But you wouldn't have said it. You've been working with them for mad long, but the fact that you were so afraid to even go to the people that hurt you, now you confront them. Now you can confront anybody who make you feel uncomfortable in any type of way. Create a space with somebody. Like, you know, if you have somebody close to you, like how I have Indigo, you know, talk to them. Be like, hey, and it might be hard, so you might have to write it down. You may have to draw them a picture. You may have to type it to them. You may have to write them a letter and not be in the room while they read it. There's different ways you can do it. You don't always have to say, hey, sit down, can I talk?
Yeah.
I know it's different ways. Like, you could write a letter to the person that hurt you and mail it to them. That could start the conversation. Talk to your baby. Stop letting social media raise your kids. Talk to your babies. Your babies know more than what you think.
Yes, they do.
I'm not saying babies like, I'm saying babies like 5, 6, 7, 8. They're still babies.
Yeah.
You're not a baby until you heal your inner child. I feel like when you able to acknowledge your inner child and like see her or him, like see the little wounded thing that got hurt by whatever it is, whether you got molested, whether you seen somebody get shot in front of you, whether you seen your mom on drugs, whatever. Until you start to heal that part of yourself, you're still a child in my eyes. We have grown ass people mentally. They're still that young kid that was hurt,
still acting out of fear and trying to protect themselves.
Yes, it's like really picture it. Picture a grown ass man, a grown ass woman paying their bills, got kids, doing whatever they doing, but right behind them it's like a little kid. Like,
yeah,
that's a lot of us. A lot of us is grown with bills and But you look behind us and our inner child is like, help me, see me.
And when you start to see people through those lenses, it kind of changes your perspective on them.
Yeah, you start to have compassion and sympathy.
Yeah, what boundaries though?
Yeah, what boundaries? And it's not like, oh, I know you have to heal your inner child, so yeah, you could talk to me any kind of way. No,
yeah,
fuck
no,
that.
we all have shit we healing through.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like if I could do it, then you could do it too. The only people I have sympathy for is people who don't have the acknowledgement of it. But if you know that your life needs to change, if you know that you need to get rid of certain things and you still fucking doing it, I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah.
At that point, now you're the one that's playing victim.
Yeah.
I'm not playing victim. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
that, like, and yeah, talk to your kids and feel free. Like, hit me up. Hit Indigo up. She's a healer. She heals me with her. You see these hands? Literally, she heals me with the food she made. With the way she touches me.
The way I love her.
The way she loves me. The way she holds me. The way she rubs my back. The way she holds my face.
And my feminine energy is really high. I feel like her masculine energy is really high. So, yeah. And it's natural in women's nature to be nurturing, to create equilibrium. Yes. That's in our nature. We want to comfort something or someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
we're natural healers.
Yeah, so, and I'm gonna point this out there. If you don't know where to start, if you want to just get a reading from my lover, like she does.
Yes, I do intuitive card reading.
Yes,
click the link in my bio on Instagram.
Yeah, and we'll put her Instagram on here. Like, yeah, get a reading done. Like, and just get a general reading. Like, what are some things that I'm not, like a general question, like could be something like, what are some things that I'm not focusing on,
or I'm not aware of.
And she will let you know. Yeah, I'm telling you. So. I trust that this video serves you well. It is a long video, but it's meant to be this long.
It's worth it. And if you've gotten this far through it, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Show my gratitude. Thank you. I show my gratitude like this because this allows me to give and this allows me to receive. Yeah. So thank you. I love you.
I love you too.
Let's do a handshake for them one more time.
All right.
How far would you like her to go back? Not hard to trace it. See, he was touching her like they had no type of relations. 5 years old, when her innocence was taken. Now she's 23, with a heart that was never fixed from the breaking. Now the world thinks she's cold, like who the fuck can she have told? Even though there was signs that this show that she was being sexually abused. Every time they was left in the room, see at first she did refuse, but over the years it became something that she was used to. It wasn't something she could look up on fucking Google, like how to tell your father or your mother to get in touch by another.